Welcome to day 11 of the Zero to Launch Challenge. Today, we're going to be building the most powerful asset in your marketing toolkit, your origin story. This is a tool that's going to help you connect emotionally with your target clients. It is a tool that's going to enable you to sell your product in an authentic, non-salesy way. And finally, it is a tool that is going to set you apart from every other product out there. Because there's only one of you. No one has the unique experiences that you've gone through. No one is who you are. So your origin story is unique to you. No one can have it. And by using that as the foundational piece of your marketing, you're going to have a message that is unique, fresh, and authentic. One that no one can copy. I want to start with common misconceptions. What this origin story is not. It is not your life story. No one cares about, what you did when you grew up and where you went to school. No one cares about all of these details. What they care about is the story of how you overcame your problem that's related to your niche. They want to be able to relate to you as the person who is their guide. The origin story shows your target clients, if they have done it, then so can I. It instills beliefs that it is possible for your client to get the transformation that they desire, and that is what you need before any sales conversation. You've probably been to lots of different courses and been to different events and heard lots of speakers and gurus. Have you ever wondered that, every one of these gurus, they have this one story that they keep telling over and over and over again? Yeah, if you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, there's this one story that he always tells. This is about the time during Christmas, his family was poor and there was no food, and there's a stranger that came to his door with a hamper. And how it goes was it got his father so mad that they slammed the door. And for Tony, that was the most pivotal moment in his life. That's when he realized that people care and it can make such a big difference. And that is the driver that he uses to do everything that he does. So that is a story. If you go to any Tony Robbins event, you will hear it at least once. And that is his signature story, the origin story that you tell over and over again, because it is the pivotal moment where everything changed for you. And this is the most powerful asset that you have in marketing your product. Nothing can come close to it. As I mentioned before, it builds that emotional connection. Why? Because it showed how you did it. It showed your vulnerabilities, your fears, your doubts. This is not a brag story. So today you're gonna start writing one of your signature story. One that you're gonna tell over and over again. One that you can tell over and over again at different places where you connect with your target audience. Whether it's a social media post, whether it is in a training program, whether it is in a webinar, whether if you're asked to give a keynote speech as an expert eventually, it is what you'll use to connect with your audience. And I'm so excited to have you go through this process today to write your origin story. So this is what you're going to do. Number one, you're going to brainstorm some story ideas. There's probably many different points in your life that led up to where you are right now. So different stories that you could use as your origin story for the purposes of marketing your product. But at the start, let's just brainstorm. What could you use? What was the most pivotal moment that led you to where you are today, to working in this niche? So if you are like me, why did I get into the business coaching niche? I talk about when I was made redundant for the third time in a decade from what I thought was a safe engineering job and career, which did not turn out to be the case. And I knew And when it happened, I was so scared about my ability to be able to provide for my family. How was I going to get the bills? I didn't like the not knowing. I did not like the instability, things going up and down. And I knew that I had to start my own business so that I can be in control of my financial future and also what I do in my life. As an engineer, going into an established industry, I lived other people's ideals of what I should do with my life. The moment I realized I didn't need to was the biggest epiphany. So that's the one I use. You know, I could use different stories, but that was the most powerful one. Go and brainstorm the different stories that you could use as your origin story. But ask yourself this question: what was the most pivotal moment that led you to decide to pursue this purpose? Next, go to ChatGPT. I have included the prompt below. Just copy and paste. But the most important thing is, at the moment, ChatGPT doesn't know what is your story. So the prompt that I like to include in that is, yes, you give an instruction, tell my origin story using this framework, but I add an additional instruction to ask ChatGPT, what information do you need from me? Okay, that's one of the biggest hacks with ChatGPT. You get it to ask you what information is missing in order to give you what you want. So add that little thing and fill in the details. You will be amazed at the story that it comes up with. And the more detail you can provide it, the more vivid and the more real and the more relatable the story will be. And you're not going to get it right the first time, so get the first draft, look at it, and make changes and refinement. And what I want you to do is to settle on the final draft and then practice it. Practice it over and over and over again. That's the only way that you're going to get good at telling the story, and this is the start. And as a bonus for this activity, record yourself in the video and post it to the chat. Next, I want to just talk a little about what makes a good origin story. Number one, it has to be relatable to your niche. So if your niche is relationship coaching, where it talks about building spark with your partner, then you don't want to talk a story about career change or business, right? It's got nothing to do with it. So make sure the story is framed in a way that is related to your niche. Secondly, don't skip the messy part. Often the misconception is we want to show how good of an expert we are, and we only tell the story of your wins. That's a mistake. It is the messy part as you're trying to figure things out when you took the wrong turn and it didn't work, and you had to start again, and you look back and say, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Those are the details that's going to make you relatable, because that is what your target clients are going through. That is their fears. And when you tell when you are vulnerable and share those details, it calms them down and it makes you relatable and makes you closer to them. I mentioned that before. You want to add the details. It is the details that makes the story real. Think of yourself as if you were watching a movie of your life. Describe the scenes. What did you see? What did you hear? What did you smell? What could you feel? What could you touch? And also add in, what were you feeling at that time? What were again, go into your fears, your uncertainty, anger, all of those emotions. Talk about those. Get those details in. And then finally, a story. No one likes a story that goes on and on and on and forever. I'm sure we've been on the receiving end of those. It's not nice. People lose interest. So you want to get to the point. And you only get this by doing lots of practice and lots of refinement. But today, we're just going to make a start on your origin story. So let's get to it. I'm really excited for you. This is going to be the most powerful asset that you're going to have, and you're going to use it again and again in different forms. And so can't wait to hear your story, because we're all wired that way. We connect better with stories. So let's go. Look forward to seeing those videos in the chat. See ya.